Hello, this is going to be a demonstration and tutorial on how to use the Covey greeter and warning system that's available as part of the Covey role-play sim control system. I've got out several items. I've got an example from the bell with frame, an example from the fire pit, and also the warning greeter prim here. I've also put out one of the stone arches just as an example of how it can be used to look like something you are walking through. All of these items have been set to server number 10 because I'm linking to this server here, which is set to server number 10. This is a very versatile script. It is one script that controls all of them. So if I look in here, in there, you'll see that it is exactly the same script in all of these three items. The admin menu is accessed in the same way on all three items, so left click and hold for at least 2 seconds. It's a long touch, and then we have the access menu. I'm going to start with a basic warning type bell or greeter bell. I'm going to set the mode. There's two main modes, there's greet and warn, so I'm going to set to greet. And we have an operation method. This can be click, collisions, or both. Well, with a bell like this, you typically just want click. Collision type I'll cover later because when we're on clicks, there are no collisions. So for this item now, with it being a click only, this is irrelevant. Message lets us set and define the message. So for example, trade bell rings. Submit that. We can also set the name, and it's worth thinking about the name when you actually set the message. So I'm just going to set this to trade bell. Again, you can set the name to anything you like. This is just the message or the name it gives the message as. We can set the range. Multi-sim will send the greeting to every avatar on this region. And in addition, any avatar on a connected region where you've got a region relay set up. The setting up of region relays is covered in the server tutorial. We also have shout region, which is every avatar on this region. Relay, that option will send the message to a local relay that I've got out here. I'm going to cover that more extensively later, but basically in the local relay you can set a range and you could have that anywhere on the sim and it will message avatars within a set range of this local region relay. Toucher will send it just to the avatar that's using the item. Whisper is 10 meters, say is 20 meters, and shout is 96 meters. I'm going to set shout for the demonstration. The time lets us set how long it will wait between giving out a greeting. So it avoids people spamming. I'm going to set this now just for 10 seconds. So it will wait at least 10 seconds before it allows another greeting. Access, it has all the same access settings as every other item. It is slightly different in warning mode, so I'll talk about that more then. And there is another tutorial that covers all the access settings in depth. Now if I close the admin menu and just click, we can see it shouts, "Man was Pastorelli, trade bell rings." So it is worth considering how you're going to say that, because it does put the avatar's name there. So if I come back into here and I go to message, rings the trade bell, submit, and now if I do this again, 10 seconds have elapsed, but if I click it again straight away, nothing happens because it's going to wait for that 10 seconds to elapse. The time has elapsed, so now we can ring it again. Okay, so let's take a look at the fire pit, because this is going to be a very similar setup. The only real difference here actually is that I have a second script in here. This is the fire colour, and in the documentation it tells you that it sends out a linked message to other scripts, and the fire colour literally picks up the message saying when it's been activated, and then it changes the colour of the flames. Once the time's elapsed, it sends out another message saying it's cleared. The fire colour script picks up on that and then resets that. This is so you can add your own effects or link other items as you see fit. And I'll show you the fire colour script. It's literally a linked message. It's on number 1. If the triggered true is sent when the item's triggered. Triggered false is sent when the item is cleared. Very similar idea. I'm going to set the message. So we've set the message. I'm going to reduce the pause time so we can see the effect quite quickly. Again, I'm going to set this to 10 seconds. We want the operation method to be click. Mode needs to be greet. Range, I'm going to set this to say this time, just so we can see that there's a difference. That's everything we need to set, because we don't need collision type because it's on click. So if I now come here and click on this, it's been triggered. We have a message has been sent out into local chat. I didn't change the name, so it defaults to NPC. After 10 seconds, it's cleared, and the linked messages in the second script then change to fire colour. So lastly then, we need to look at this type here. This is the type that you walk through. I'm going to initially set the mode to greet. Operation method, this time we're probably going to only want collisions. We can have both, but we're just going to do collisions. Then now we need to look at the collision type. There is pass through, that means you can walk through unobstructed. There is walk on and there is solid. If you set it to solid, you'll walk into it and you won't be able to pass through. Walk on is designed for something that you're going to walk over. So for example, if I was making a trap, which I'll cover a little bit later in the video, and I've got it on the ground like that, if you're going to walk over it, you should set walk on. But for this one, we're going to want to walk through, so we're going to set the collision type to pass through. I'm going to set the range to whisper this time, again, just so we can see there's a difference. I'm going to cover the local relay a little bit later. So we're going to set whisper. The default message I'm going to leave, because the default message is welcome to our sim, and that works. I'm going to reduce this pause time again. I'm going to make it 5 seconds just so it's even quicker. Now when I walk through it, you'll see that I get a greeting. If I walk straight back through, there is no second greeting. But now that our 5 seconds has elapsed, if I walk through again, we get another greeting. So you can control how long that wait time is. And this is a basic greeting system. So let's now talk about warnings. And for this, we're going to look at the server again. I have 2 groups set on this server. I have Covey stalls and I have diamonds of fire. And what's going to happen is this is now going to warn us about people who are not in an access list. So I'm going to first of all come into the menu, change the access, and I'm going to change it to groups. And I need to change my group. That one will do. Okay, so we have the access set to groups. I'm not in the group that this is set, either of the groups the server has got. And I'm going to send message. Enter the region. And then we can just say a scout runs off to warn others in the area. This works really well with the local relay. So I'm going to actually set it in a minute to relay, but we'll just do a range of say for now, just to demonstrate it. So we're on groups, collisions, and we can change the name. So for example, let's say that we have a NPC prim around. We've called this Mark. Submit. I want out of subdivision. So Mark is spotted by Mark, who runs off to warn others in the area. Submit. Make sure that the mode is on warn instead of greet. And now it's a very similar idea. So I'm going to walk through. And you can see it says that Mama Pastorelli is spotted by Mark, who runs off to warn others in the area. That exact same thing can be applied with the timer and everything else that we did before. But now let's take a look at this local relay. In the local relay, we need to make sure it's on the same server, which it is. And now we can set a range. This you actually put in a message. Now you can set this to 1 meter, 10 meters, 200 meters. It doesn't matter. I'm going to set this to 50 meters just to make sure that we're well covered. Now I'm going to set this one here to range of relay. And this time when I walk through, we can see we've got the message is coming from an object or another object. It's being used, sent in a different way, and that's because it is being sent to this relay that is then sending it on again. So the only one we've got left to cover now really is the multi-region. And for this, I'm going to need, I can't demonstrate because this is an active roleplay sim, but if there was another avatar over here or in the same region and I set it to everybody, that message would be delivered to everybody on the region or everybody on that region and a connected region. So the only one left to really cover is the traps. And this is very similar. So I'm just going to move this over here. I'm going to turn it flat. I'm going to turn the time up just to 30 seconds, just so we don't get too many repeats. I'm going to leave it on the local relay. The collision type I'm now going to set to walk on. And lastly, we need to set the message. And you can set this message to whatever you like. But if I now walk over this, we can see this has been sent out, it's been sent out to the local relay, and the reason we're getting a second message is it also sends a message to the avatar that has triggered the trap or triggered the system. So this can be used to make trade bells, it can be used to have sort of warning fires or additional items with additional effects. We can have just a basic greeter that you walk through. You can set it so it will just walk into, and we can have roleplay traps. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.